Call to order the Gurnee Village Board regular meeting of December 16, 2024. Roll call, please.
Thomas.
Present.
Thorstenson.
Here.
Woodside.
Present.
Ross. Garner.
Here.
O'Brien. Present. There you go.
We all may stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Welcome, everybody. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
Motion by Trustee Balmas, second by Trustee Garner. Roll call, please.
Aye.
Thorstenson.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
6 ayes.
Motion carries. Pat?
Item number 1, approval of the minutes from the December 2nd, 2024 meeting. Item number 2, approval of Police Department request to dispose of certain documents as authorized by the State of Illinois Local Records Commission. Item number 3, approval of Police Department request to allow Records Supervisor Heather Collins to attend the Tyler Tech Connect Conference in San Antonio, Texas from May 11th through 15th, 2025 at a cost not to exceed $3,700. Item number 4, approval of payroll for period ending November 29, 2024 in the amount of $1,360,367.00. Item number 5, approval of bills for period ending December 16, 2024 in the amount of $1,445,728.18.
Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Trustee O'Brien, second by Trustee Ross. Roll call, please.
Thomas.
Aye.
Thorstenson.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Yes.
6 ayes.
Motion carries. On to petitions and communications. Item number 1, approval of proclamation designating January 2025 as Lake County Crime Stoppers Month in the Village of Gurnee. Crime Stoppers of Lake County, a nonprofit organization primarily funded by private donations, has been serving the Village of Gurnee and the surrounding area by providing cash rewards for information leading to the solving of crimes. Through their actions and the work of local law enforcement, this has led to nearly 7,000 arrests and convictions and the recovery of over $30.7 million worth of contraband and recovered stolen property since April 26, 1983. Now therefore, I, Thomas Hood, Mayor of Gurnee, do hereby proclaim January 2025 as Lake County Crime Stoppers Month in the Village of Gurnee and encourage support for Crime Stoppers of Lake County. Is there a motion?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Motion
Second.
by Trustee Garner, second by Trustee Thorstenson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
There's a reminder that there'll be a State of the Village address immediately following the January 27, 2025 Village Board meeting. And on to reports. Presentation by Village Engineer Nick Leach, 2023-2024 All Natural Hazards Mitigation Plan Progress Report. Nick?
Good evening. Let this fire up real quick. Let me get going. All right. Good evening, Mayor and trustees. This presentation serves as our annual notification to the public and to the board regarding the all-natural hazard mitigation plan and the steps we've taken this past year. As the name suggests, this plan identifies all the natural hazards. It also assesses vulnerabilities and determines how to minimize or eliminate risk based on a set agreed upon goals. The goals of the all-natural hazard mitigation plan include protecting the lives, health, and safety of the people of Lake County from natural hazards, protect public services, utilities, and critical facilities from potential damage from natural hazards, mitigate existing buildings to protect against damage from natural hazard events, ensure that new developments do not create new exposures of people and property damage from natural hazards, and then mitigate to protect against economic and transportation loss due to natural hazards. The mitigation plan is also a requirement of the disaster Mitigation Act of 2000. So in order to qualify for grant funding, which we've utilized very successfully in the past to acquire and remove properties from the floodplain, we must adopt and maintain the plan. Every year, we must review the plan, any hazards encountered, and discuss how our action items have been implemented. This past year, the village did not see any major hazards within our town. The village did receive a small localized flooding event within Providence Village subdivision, which the village had a meeting with the HOA representatives to discuss the events that occurred this past February. Engineering and Public Works staff investigated the event and provided some solutions such as cleaning out major drainage culverts and sewer televising some storm sewers to inspect for deficiencies. The flooding event occurred due to a combination of factors such as high-intensity rainfall event, frozen ground conditions, and existing ground debris blocking inlets, and there was a few clogged culverts. Although no homes were impacted, the road and yards were flooded, which is what they were supposed to do on major events for a short duration. The village was able to clean and televise storm sewers within a 2-week period, and we have not had any flooding issues since, and that's pretty much been the extent of our poor weather or bad weather incidents throughout the year, which is a good thing. I know I'm gonna knock on some wood. Hopefully we have a mild winter for Heather over there. So FEMA requires hazard mitigation plans be updated and readopted every 5 years. Lake County just finished updating back in 2022, the all natural hazard mitigation plan, and the village adopted the plan in 2023. Mitigation action plan, so there's these action items. The action items outline the recommended activities and initiatives to be implemented over the next 5 years. It's understood that the implementation is contingent on the availability of resources such as staff and funding. We selected action items that are pertinent to the community and obligated ourselves to 23 of the possible 61 action items. The update from this past year, action item number 6. So that indicates identify needs and obtain alternative power sources for critical facilities and shelters. So we replaced the generator at our Lee Avenue lift station and continue to prioritize generator replacements and installations at critical facilities. We also purchased a new portable generator this last year. The device is large enough to power key functions at the police department and any public works stations throughout town and essential functions at the public works building, main building. Action item number 15 was updated or will be updated. This is just reviewing and making sure we're up to date on our building codes. So we'll be reviewing the 2024 ICC building codes and hope to adopt those this next February or March of next year. And then part of the new part of the plan was to have achievable goals within the 5-year period. And so we chose kind of 3 goals. This is the 36A. So one of the goals was to identify needs and obtain power sources. So the goal was to get new generators and ATSs installed at the Lee Avenue lift station as mentioned. So that was done in October 2024. And then for next fiscal year, we'll be looking at the Westgate lift station generator to be upgraded. Then the second goal or project was stream bank stabilization along the Swanson Trigg tributary. The village continues to look for opportunities to stabilize the stream bank when staff and budget allows. The village performs annual tributary inspections, which helps us locate areas of concern and budget accordingly. And then the last kind of project was increase culvert capacity at Grove Avenue. This task was completed in 2022 by increasing the flow capacity on our Grove Avenue at the Boulevard View pedestrian trail. Since we completed it early on, the village continues to look for new opportunities to increase flow capacity to prevent flooding in other areas within the community. The village recently cleaned out the downstream storm sewer pipes that run parallel with Route 41 between St. Paul and Delaney, and then just south of Grove Avenue. They were able to pull out a considerable amount of debris, which was discovered through sewer televising. The village will also look to improve this drainage ditch within this area to improve drainage capacity to help prevent flooding at 4200 Grove. This project's currently under, in for permitting, and we look to perform the improvements next fiscal year. So with that, that sums up the report for 2024. Are there any questions?
Any questions to my right? Any questions to my left? Nope. Thank you, Nick, for your report. Appreciate it. On to new business. Approval of Public Works Department request to purchase two 2023 Chevrolet 6500 HD 4x4 chassis. It's upfitted with 10-foot plow, 9-foot wing plow, 11-foot dump box, tailgate salt spreader, pre-wet system with hydraulics and computerized spreader controls from Bonnell Industries at a cost of $374,913.52. Pat.
Sure. So you may remember this year's approved budget actually had the replacement of 3 one-ton plows in it for the Public Works Department. We had that catastrophic engine failure on the chipper earlier this year, which replacing that piece of equipment was a priority for Public Works. So we took some of that money that was budgeted for these 3 trucks, used that along with the trade-in to help replace the chipper. So as a result, we're down to 2 one-tons to be replaced this year. The trucks to be replaced, one's a 2009, the other one is a 2008. We talked about during the capital presentation trying a little bit bigger chassis, so not bigger than the 1-ton, but not quite a 5-yard. So that's the Chevy 6500. This is a 2-ton truck that would allow us to install a wing plow on the side. The 1-tons typically do parking lots and cul-de-sacs. The current 1-tons don't have a wing plow. They're not a heavy enough chassis. So going to this bigger chassis, we can add the wing plow, we can add the pre-wet system, which isn't currently on the 1-tons, as relates to applying the de-icing liquids to the salt versus mixing it beforehand. So we feel that it's going to be a more efficient vehicle as far as plowing the cul-de-sacs and parking lots in town. Worked with Bonnell Industries, who we've worked with for I think the past 10, 11, 12 years on speccing out that equipment. I've been very satisfied with what they've done for us over the years. So in this instance, it's the chassis and all the upfitting from Bonnell. The bigger trucks we purchased directly from like Peterbilt, for example, and then the upfitting with Bonnell. But this is one foul swoop with Bonnell. Again, we had $480,000 total in the budget for the 3 trucks, spent some of that on the chipper. So there is appropriate funding left over for these trucks. If they perform like we think they're going to perform, this will probably be the new standard going forward to replace some of those 1-tons. So Public Works is excited about getting these trucks, giving them a try, hoping they perform as expected. So as stated, it's budgeted. Funds in the budget is ready for your consideration.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Garner, second by
Second.
trustee Thorstensen. Any comments or questions?
Are they currently in-house, or is this a wait time?
Do you know lead time on these trucks?
Chassis they actually have on site, but the upfitting, I believe, is still March of '26.
26. Not March 26, March of 2026.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
It could be January, but I think
which
it'll be
sounds
later.
crazy, but that's quicker than the 2 ambulances that we've been waiting on, the fire department that we approved years ago.
This is crazy.
It is.
I mean, it makes it challenging on the department. So again, we've been approving this equipment, but it's important to keep in mind that it may be a year, year and a half, 2 years before it's actually out on the road. So, which staff has to remind me sometimes as we're bringing those requests forward, looking at that lead time going forward. So, yeah.
Wow. Thank you.
Questions or comments? No. Roll call, please.
Thomas,
Aye.
Torstenson,
Yes.
Woodside,
Aye.
Ross,
Aye.
Garner,
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now is the time for public comment. If you'd like to stand up at the microphone and state your name and make a public comment, you're invited to do so. If not, floor is closed. I just would, before we adjourn, just would like to say this is the last meeting of the year. Say thank you to staff. You did an awesome job this year. Really been a good year. A few bumps along the road, but also for the board, thank you as well for your hard work and professionalism, that we've come out on the right side of it. So, Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. And is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Ballmer, second by trustee Garner. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned for 2024.